Well, good afternoon, it's Margaret again, and why am I back? Well, of course I'm back because in that last repot I was just gathering up all the old bark to throw out, and there was a great huge slug, and that's what had nibbled that nice root. And now that's the only thing about putting your orchids outside, especially when you've got bark media. And if you don't cover these holes up underneath, I don't know how they get inside, I don't. But I get a bit paranoid when I get slugs, and well, I get paranoid with anything that I deem as a bug. And there's caterpillars. I think they've all been sent to drive me crackers. And you see, this has got two nice new growths here, and it's got a new growth there. And this one is called Dendrobium falcorostrum, and this is a dainty little dendrobium, and it's also very fragrant. So what I'm going to do now is, I've already prepared this yoghurt pot. And the only reason I've chosen this one as opposed to a terracotta one is so I can keep my eye on the roots, and it's slightly wider. So again, like last time, let's see what's inside this pot. Now, if I can remember, this one again, I'd got the bark absolutely solid round its roots, and I decided not to disturb it. I've had it in soak, but now I'm thinking, well, if a slug's got in that other one, a slug could get in this one. So again, we'll bang the pot to see whether or not it'll loosen up. And let's have a look what we're dealing with. That little bit of bark there, it's got mould on it. And it's actually, believe it or not, can you see the mould? Don't think you can see it there. This is correct. I've got to repot this now, and it doesn't matter how many roots of these old roots that I'm going to lose, because if I didn't repot this now, the medium. Can you just see the slithers of? It's like little fine spider roots, but that's not, that's the mould. And so this is definitely come hell or high water, as an expression that sometimes we use. It's coming out. Oh, I can't believe that. Look at that. So here goes. Here's me thinking, I'm going to have a quiet day, and I've got to deal with this now. So let's have a look first of all. She's got growing tip on that one. She's got a burnt growing tip there. That's a good one, that's a green one. Oh, look at that. No, doesn't that just rich off? That's come from there. That's a problem, you see. They're so brittle. You've got to be so careful. And that one's just, through no fault, it's just broke off. But look here. Look at those. And these are coming from that new growth there. So, without more ado, let's get this little tool here and see whether I can get in there and prise any more of this bark away. And then I don't know whether you're going to see what I'm doing. I'm hoping you will, but I do apologise if you don't. You see, what I'm trying to do is trying to stay in focus and to also be able to use both hands just to dig deep and see if I can get rid of some of this bark that's been in this pot for I don't know how long. I've said before, it's I would never ever have attempted anything like this 2 or 3 years back. I hadn't got the confidence and I hadn't got the knowledge. And you might think, well, where do you get the knowledge from? Unfortunately for us, we've got a lot of YouTubers who are willing to share their experiences. Some of them are good and some of them are not so good, but if we don't share the not so good, then how will you know how will you know the difference? And also, I was so when I first started on YouTube, and I did that 60-second video, I was so nervous. I couldn't believe it. I don't come across as a nervous person. Well, I'm not really. I mean, you know, I have to deal with the public, and I have no problem at all. But you actually set yourself down in front of a camera, and you're going out to millions of people, and you're bearing your soul, as we might say. It's a different matter. But then Deborah, I like Deborah. She's originally from England, but now she's in New Zealand, and she said to me, Margaret, just be yourself. And so I thought, well, there goes. I shall just be myself. WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. And since then, I'm not nervous anymore. It's just like I said the other day. Sometimes you have days where you're more confident, and I mean, there's others who produce YouTube videos, and they're far more knowledgeable. They talk about different things, but I don't know. I haven't got enough knowledge yet to talk extensively. I just talk about my actual orchids and how I try and do my best for them, and I've had to learn through bitter experience, because until things happen to you, how do you know how to deal with them? It was like the scale, and I mean, I had no idea what scale was. I didn't know egg bugs existed on orchids, and I didn't know, of course, that the health of your orchid is if you look at the roots, that'll give you, that's the first indicator. And I have to watch that little tip there. So it has been a learning curve, and I used to grow in that little tiny root there. Can you see? Such a tiny thing. Now that's where I sometimes, with my big clumsy fingers, I knock things. Yeah, I'm digressing now. I used to grow African violets, and I had some lovely ones. I've still got some leaves that are growing on, and I think I've only got one out of the original African violets, and they were just taken down in a matter of a couple of days. I was devastated, but you have to learn and deal with things as best you can, and the knowledge is out there. It's just you've got to be prepared to take the time to read up, watch other people's videos, and try and put it in practice. I mean, one of the things you've got to do, you've got to be extremely clean. I mean, before I start doing any video or repotting, I make sure that all my implements are clean. I make sure that the worktops are clean. Keith will often say, "Oh, you're not bleaching again." But you have to, because if you don't, you could be transferring pathogens, bugs, and to your other plants, very unsuspecting. Hey, this is lovely. This little tool here, people think it's a dentist's tool, but it isn't. Dave did tell me what it was, something to do with vinyl, and it is like a dentist tool. So I'm trying to get in here, because once I've got through here I can get rid of these. There we go. Then, oh, look at that one's coming free. There we go. There. Now I've got a big piece here. Now where's that attached to? And then I also worry about the time factor on the camera. But if I run out of time, then I do apologise, and I'll have to come back. Oh, look at this piece. Let's show you. You see that? Completely broken down, that has. Oh, goodness gracious. I am so pleased that I found that slug, because if I hadn't have found that slug, then I wouldn't have gone into the panic mode I have. But now, let's have a look in here. There's something in there, and I need to get it out. What is it? Is it a piece of bark? Yeah. I've still got some lava rock, and what I want to do is try and get rid of this bark medium here, and then plant it up in lava rock. And the beauty about lava rock, of course, it's inorganic, and that means that it's never going to break down, and you can then leave your orchids undisturbed. Now I've got this big piece here. I'm trying to be as gentle as I can, but sometimes, and that, believe it or not, that piece is quite hard. Let's have a look. I did the TDS and pH readings this morning, and on that earlier video, and when I started to try and understand about the TDS meter and the pH readings, oh, I tell you, I couldn't get my head around it. You know, there's a chappie at work, and I'd say to him, "Now, do you understand it?" And he'd look at me as if to say, "Yeah." And I'd say, "Well, I can't get my head around it." And but you know, I persevered. I shouted out for help, and I persevered. And Rick of Rick-L's channel, and Roger Frampton of M.E.s Orchids now, and we all have our own way of doing things, and you know, what you've got to realise is that you don't have to just follow one person. You don't have to follow a trend. Sometimes when you get more experienced, then you get more confident, and that means then you can make your own decisions for the environment that you live in. And the environment I live in, we have cold, long, dark winters, which can be very cold, and that one's stuck. So let's see if I can get it without. Oh yes. And it took me a while to come to terms with and understand my environment. But once I understood what my environment was, then there was no looking back. And one of the things that's helped me tremendously is the humidifier, and also the oscillating fan. Well, I've got two fans now, and the fans go on every day. And the last few days we've had rain here. Not an awful lot. Particularly where I'm living, we're going to go into a hose pipe ban. I think it's around about the 5th of August. And not that we use a hose pipe. When we've watered, we've used the watering can. So we've not been breaking any rules. But because we're having such shortages of water now, they're having to introduce these bans. And we're set to have rising temperatures these next few days. We're going to go into the 30s. We're nearly there now. And we don't have weather like this. We may go 10, 15, 20 years. And so we don't have summers like this all the time. But when we do have them, that's why we're not prepared. And I don't think it's just England that's having this hot weather. I mean, most of Europe's having hot weather, and when you're used to a climate where in the summer, if you get up to about 25, that's 25°C, you know, we think that's a nice hot day. And then when we get over 27, and then we're climbing up to 30, and especially when you've got to work in it, because the majority of places over here, we don't have air conditioning. Oh, look at that. Can you see? There's an actual division here. Now, I wonder if that's because, let's just see what we've got here. We might just have two plants here. Let's just see. Can you see there? I do not believe that that and that were attached, because if you look there, both of those have healed over, so that it's not new. Now I think this has been in here since it was a seedling, and they had two little plants in here. Let's see if I can just get in here now. Get right deep down in there. Get rid of that. And that, and that, and that. Let's see. See? There we go. Look at that. So these are two little tiny seedlings put in one pot, and each one, that's the back bulb there, and I think what I'm going to do off camera, especially with this little one, it's in active growth. It's got this, you see, it's got a new root there, and I'm going to pop this on. Let's have a look at this one now. Let's get rid of all this. Get rid of these sheaves down here, because those are the things that harbour pests and diseases. New root there. Let's see what we can just break free. Now, when I first had this one, these roots were solid, and I was trying to get rid of some of this medium, and somebody suggested then that I really soak the orchid, and but I didn't want to disturb it anymore, because it had already come from a different environment, and there. So let's just have a look. Try and get as much off as I can. There we go. There's hardly anything there now. And let's take these few back. See what's lurking down there, if anything. I think we're quite clear down there now. So let's just have a look. And this is the little pot. What I'm going to do first is I'll just rinse it. And bear with me a minute. Got a couple of pieces of bark stuck in there, and there's one stuck there, and if I'm not mistaken I've just got a piece stuck in there. Let's have a look now. Might just have a little tiny piece in there. Let's see if I can. No, maybe not. So there she is. And she's going to go in this little container now. She's got room to, with these new growths here. And what I'm going to do now is get some more lava rock, and that's the back end. Can you see that? That's the back end, and that's the front end. So when I get the lava rock in a minute, she'll just push her back there like that, and then she's got all this area now to grow from. And then I'm going to find another little pot, and I'll wash those roots off there, and then we've got two little chrysotoxins. So it was a good time to repot, and thank you for joining me. I'm sorry to cut everybody short, but I'm running out of time now, and hopefully these will romp away now. So thank you for joining me again. Bye for now.